Welcome back. So, a lot of people in the law of assumption community keep talking about something called detachment. You have to detach from your desire, whatever that means. They don't really elaborate too much. I've been in this law of assumption community for years. I have read every manifestation book. I have tried every technique, and I have tremendous success, as you guys well know. And I've helped you guys out tremendously as well. And when it comes to the law of detachment, really cool term with the sparkly words, people say you need to detach from your desire and you need to let it go, because when you let go of something, that proves you love it or something. Wherever they go, really. And as you guys know on this channel, my goal is to help you guys out to get rid of these really stupid limiting beliefs that other people put on themselves and they project it onto you. And that's the reason why you are not getting your desire. And I'm here to tell you that this entire idea that you have to detach from the end goal, you need to detach from the feeling of wanting or the state of wanting. I'm here to tell you that that is absolute BS. And luckily, it is complete BS. I'm talking like 2 girls, 1 cup BS. It is absolutely nonsense how these people project their limiting beliefs onto you guys, and you guys are screwing up your own lives because some idiot who just wants your money or wants you to watch their videos is telling you have to detach. No, you have to detach because that's a limiting belief that you put on yourself. I didn't put that limiting belief on myself, so I didn't have to detach from wanting it. I want it, and I want it now. So why would I be in that state of, oh, let me detach first? That is an extra step that I don't have to do. You have to do that because you put that limiting belief on yourself, and now you're telling others that they have to put that limiting belief onto them. That's not how it works. You do not have to detach from wanting your desire. That is nonsense. I want the desire. I want it now. The idea that you have to detach from your desire and wanting your desire, that is complete nonsense. Luckily, you do not have to do that. However, what you do have to detach from is the 3D. That is the actual detaching that you have to do. The real detaching you have to do is from the 3D, the old story, which I preach all the time. Again, you don't have to ignore the 3D. You have to detach. You have to zone it out. When it comes to manifestation, your goal is always the same no matter what technique you do. Your goal is to change your dominant thoughts. And in order to change your dominant thoughts, you do have to detach from the 3D. You don't ignore it, you have to kind of zone it out. And for majority of the time you think about your desire, your goal is to be naturally in the new story. You have to detach from the old story. The old story is the 3D. You do have to do that, but you do not have to detach from wanting it. You can still want it. I wanted everything, and I got everything from not detaching from anything. I told you guys a story yesterday. Yesterday, I told you guys that, I forgot what video I was making yesterday. Oh, visualization, that's the video. Yesterday, I was telling you guys a story on how I was visualizing getting my license. And what did I do to get my license? I did a state akin to sleep visualization of me receiving my license and driving back home with my license, with the knowing that I have my license. And the next day, I got my license, and that happened exactly. So when I was doing my driver's test, was I detached from not wanting my license? No, I was completely there. I wanted my license, which is why I'm at the goddamn exam. But I'm telling myself that I already have my license. I'm still there. I'm still doing it. But I did a state akin to sleep. I still wanted it. I detached from the 3D. I didn't really care if the 3D showed me this or 3D showed me that. I didn't care if when I was doing my driver's test, the driving instructor was writing something down saying, oh, I did a fault. I didn't care. That's all the 3D stuff. I detached from the 3D. But I didn't detach from not wanting my license. I still affirmed, I have my license. I got my license. I am living in the end. I got my license. I detached from the 3D, but I didn't detach from the wanting and the desire feeling. I didn't detach at all from that. And by the way, for all you idiots who say you have to detach from the 3D and putting your limiting beliefs on me and all of people who need help, for all you idiots who say stuff like that, imagine how does that even work when it comes to people who don't know about manifestation? What about your favorite athletes? What about LeBron James or Tom Brady? How did they manifest their desire? I'll tell you how they did it. They didn't do detachment. What they did is that they robotically affirmed to themselves, if I go to this school, I will go to this league. If I go to this league, if I go to this team, I will go to this round in the playoffs. And they kept affirming to themselves, I have to eat this much food and then I'll win this championship or I'll be better for the game tomorrow. And they kept affirming to themselves and they kept affirming. Did they give up on desiring the trophy? Did they give up on desiring being drafted? No. They locked in. They kept affirming to themselves. They didn't know they were doing this. They kept affirming to themselves, I will receive my desire if I do this. And they became the person in their imagination who gets their desire with doing a certain activity. Again, you can do any activity. This is why people talk to their water, and all those idiots in this law of attraction will talk to their water. It's the same thing. They kept telling themselves, I need to do this to get this. And they affirmed to themselves, and they did not manifest away their desires. They did not say, oh, I have to let it go. No. They desired it until they got the trophy, and then they cried when they got the trophy. And by the way, I know a lot of people in the law of detachment world, if that's what you want to call it. I know a lot of people get this from Neville, because Neville said, like, you grow the seed and stop focusing on the seed. Even though Neville did say many times that if you lock in right now, within 2 weeks, you should get most of your desires. He did say, like, sometimes they take months and years, but he said, like, most of the time you get it in like 2 weeks, which is true. Even Neville always used to do analogies with pregnancy. He did a lot of pregnancy analogies. And if you just use the law of detachment for the pregnancy analogy, imagine you're having intercourse with a girl and being like, oh no, I have to detach from this. Oh, the baby is not gonna, the seed is not gonna go to the egg if I don't detach. No, if you detach, your dick goes limp and you have to say, sorry, madame, I had to detach. But don't worry, madame, it's not your fault that I went limp during intercourse. All my chakras are aligned and my third eye is now open. Now I have to climb a mountain and pretend that I did something good here. No, you didn't do anything good. You detached and your dick went limp. You don't detach when you're trying to climax, and the climax is you getting your desire. Because again, I know this sounds a little bit graphic, but again, Neville used to use that analogy with pregnancies. Gross, I know, but even Neville, like, he wouldn't agree with this whole, like, detach from, like, wanting your desire, because Neville wanted to go to Barbados. Neville wanted to go out of World War II. What did he do? He did stayed akin to sleep. And during the days when he was in training camp, he pretended that he was not in training camp in his head. And what did he do? But 9 days later, he said, all right, I'm gone. The sergeant gave him his papers and he went out. Did he detach from not wanting to see his daughter? No. He wanted to see his daughter. He wanted to go to Barbados. He didn't detach. I don't detach from any of my desires. And any of these people who do teach detachment, all these idiots, by the way, who do teach detachment, all of them, their success stories are not very impressive. I read a lot of them. I've been following a lot of them for years. A lot of their success stories are, I got my desire in 3 months, or I got my desire in 9 months. It's like, okay, well, over here, we're getting our desire in like 3 days, because we know how the law actually works. The law is simple. You manifest whatever your dominant assumption is, your dominant thought is. And if you keep repeating a thought, it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter if you're still in the desired feeling 99% of the day. All that matters is that your dominant thoughts are aligned with you have your desire right now. That's all that matters. As long as you affirm to yourself, that's all that matters. But yeah. Anyways, that's for today's video. I do have one more thing to add. I know a lot of you guys want me to create my own like coaching or like some sort of email coaching. I don't want to do that. I think I said that before. I don't want to do that. However, some of the comments, because the channel is kind of getting bigger and bigger, some of the comments are getting pretty overwhelming. I'm having a hard time answering to every single comment. So what I'll do is that I think I'm going to start a paid group chat, and I think there will be like a monthly subscription or something. And you guys can just pay into this group chat. It's not going to be too expensive because some of these coaches give like, $500. Like in order to talk to them, you have to give them like $500 to like $700. It's not going to be anywhere near that. I'm thinking like $50 or something. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing a paid group chat where you guys can always talk to me. And then maybe I can have moderators in the future, like talk to you guys back and also help you. I'm thinking of doing that. I know a lot of you guys want to talk to me directly. So I think that is probably the best way I can do that. So I'm working on that right now, so look out for that in the future. But yeah, either way, you don't have to detach, just affirm and have an image in your head. That's it. If you want to do that, you can also just affirm. But yeah, anyways, that's for today's video. Make sure to look out for, possible coaching in the future. And yeah, peace out.